Hello and welcome to Meeting of Minds, a webinar series run by Artesian with guest speakers. And this week we would like to welcome David Davies of Sandler Training Thames Valley. Thanks for joining us, David. David's going to run through how to power out of the summer sales slump in 20 quick minutes. If you do have any questions, then you can type them into your screen and we'll attempt to answer them at the end. I can assure you that we haven't made any bogus ones up either. So thank you very much for that, and I'll hand straight over to David. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, for that introduction, and thank you to everybody this afternoon for joining us. Today I'm going to share with you some key strategies for powering out of the summer sales slump and achieve those goals that you set or perhaps were set for you back at the start of the year. I should probably start with telling you who I am. I'm Dave Davies. I'm a Sandler licensed trainer. Sandler Training are the world's largest sales and sales leadership training company. I've been in sales leadership now for 28.25 years, from startup organizations through to NASDAQ listed companies, and my career has been mostly international. Now, I've made every mistake in the book, and my fundamental role is to ensure that you don't make the same mistakes I did. I'm married, father of 3, 80s synth music obsessed, dad dancing, comic book reading, Lego enthusiast. Summer can be a tough period for salespeople. Prospects are often on vacation. There's almost always one person from your cast of characters who's absent through the buying process in the summer. Your call attempts will often go unanswered for days, weeks, perhaps even longer. Your well-intentioned emails get lost in the personal time pile-up. Or worse, you agree to with an out-of-office telling you that your prospect is off selling themselves somewhere on a beach, while you're stuck in an unair-conditioned office with a phone receiver melting to your earlobe. It can be a little soul-destroying. So we'll crack open the bubbly though. The good news is September's here. The world's reopened its doors for business. I've labelled this period for many, many years a silly season. But traditionally this has been the best trading period for my teams. That exciting and at times nerve-wracking period when all of the major deals you've been working on all year come into the closing zone. As selling professionals, we're looking to conclude and exceed our goals for the year. Now you may already be there, but for many of us, we still have a way to go yet. Equally, our prospects are looking to get their pain solved before the end of the year and goes past them. They have a number of things on their list of to-dos that they want to get completed for the year. And we need to ready ourselves to maximise the opportunity this period brings. So here are my 9 tips to help you power through the concluding episode of 2016 and set yourself up for a great start to 2017. So the first tip really is to reset the clock, to take time to rethink your goals, those smart goals you set for yourself at the start of the year. A few salespeople really take the time to set themselves specific, measurable, attainable, results-oriented, time-bound goals. So set or reset those personal goals. Set some goals for the period. Break them down into monthly and weekly subsets. Have those goals checked and accepted by your line manager. And then with them create an environment of accountability. Tell your line manager what you want to be held accountable for. The things that you say you're going to do, and have them check that you're doing the things you said you'd do. Make sure you have regular connect time to review those goals, whether it's a weekly one-to-one, monthly one-to-one, whatever makes sense in your world. But most important of all, commit to your goals and hold yourself accountable to them. Take time to clean out your pipeline. My second tip is pay attention to your bookkeeping. You've been building that book of business all year. So adopt the Sandler mentality now. Close the sale, or close the file. Take a look at your book, at all of the entries, clean, honest opportunities. Be honest with yourself. If your gut says no, that deal's not going to close, then go and find and get that no from the prospect. Using a tool like the close the sale or close the file email will smoke out those people who just aren't in the right place right now to do business with you and are unlikely to conclude their business with you during this period. Your time is precious now. It's always precious. But don't spend time smoking hopium. Hopium, well, we all know hope is not a strategy. Smoking hopium is when we spend too much of our time hoping and praying that things will come good. We need to know. Only work on those opportunities that you have a high probability of winning. The rest of the opportunity could be parked or binned, let them reveal themselves back to you, or simply save them for the following period. My third tip is to work on your 30-second advert. That short amount of time you've got to convey to somebody else what it is you do, why it is you do it, and who it is you do it for. When was the last time you took a look at your 30-second commercial, played it across your peers, and had them critique that 30-second commercial? You need to make sure that it tells the prospect exactly what you do and answers that all-important question: who is this person and how are they relevant to my business? In Sandler, we spend a lot of time with our clients teaching them to develop and employ upfront contracts. I can't encourage you enough to establish strong upfront contracts for every opportunity you're working on right now. The prospects only ever act in accordance with how you allow them to. Upfront contracts are verbal agreements between you and your prospect. Verbal agreements that commit you to the things they're expecting from you and for you to be able to set expectations on them. Use your upfront contracts to ensure the opportunity is where you believe it to be, and understand where it is if it's not where you thought it was. Check. Take time to check if anything's changed over the summer period, if anything's occurred that's going to drive or slow down the opportunity you're working on. What are the clear next steps to progressing the opportunity to a mutually acceptable conclusion? Are both parties in agreement with where this opportunity is going and when it's going to close? Establish firm future commitments throughout the period to avoid deal slippage. Set a project timeline, if you will. One of the single biggest challenges I see with every sales team I work with is setting and agreeing those dates and times with their prospects, knowing when it is that the next steps are going to happen. And working a project timeline out with a client will help them and help you to establish the tone of the relationship as you move through this period, and will help them understand what needs to be done by what time for you both to be able to effectively conclude the sale. My fifth tip really is to invest in your personal growth. Don't get too busy to not spend time growing yourself. Now, when you're in front of clients, if you didn't bring it, you certainly won't find it there. So take time to think about the things that have challenged you through the first 2 trimesters of this year, this first 8 months. Take time throughout this period to ensure you're at the very top of your selling game. Read industry publications, blogs, articles, books. Perhaps invest in some sales coaching or sales training. The one thing I actively encourage you to do is get yourself a mentor. If you don't already have a mentor, I can't encourage you enough to go and find one. And just remember that mentor's not your line manager. It's somebody else within the organization you trust and you can work with to grow yourself. Now, continuous improvement is just that. It is a continuous process. We should always be learning, always be growing. So take some time to get good at getting good. My 6th tip is prospect, prospect, prospect. Now, you don't have to like prospecting, you just have to do it. If you have cleaned out your pipeline and found that it has more holes in the colander, then you really do need to do something about it, and quick. Pick up the phone. Go and find those opportunities that tend to bubble up post the summer haze as people are looking to clear down their to-do list for the year. Fill your diary with new relationships that you can nurture, grow and develop. Start building that book of business for 2017. Do not let your prospecting activity drop and find yourself struggling to restart your engines in 2017. And prospecting should be something you do every day, not just when you're in trouble. Pressurized prospecting never got anybody anywhere. In the modern age, there's a huge amount of technology that we can use, we can deploy to connect, engage, inform and delight our clients. So my 7th tip is to use everything at your disposal to win more business. At your fingertips, in a matter of seconds, is a myriad of powerful tools that will improve your performance. So get clean with the CRM machine. Make sure it's up to date, and throughout the period ensure it is doing the heavy lifting to ensure you're on top of all of your opportunities, that all of the opportunities are real and you know where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Take another look at LinkedIn. Are you really leveraging the value of the network you're building? Increasing your connections, using it to build referrals. Have people you know connect you with other people you want to know. Are you creating opportunities using LinkedIn? Are tools like Artesian keeping you abreast of development in your clients? News, what's changing in their world? Is Artesian educating on what's happening in their world? Is it telling you the conversations you should be having with them right now? Is your Twitter feed redundant? Or are you using it to actively make connections, to engage your audience, to inform your audience? And does your LinkedIn profile say, engage with me? Do all of your social selling assets say, I do good things, I help people's businesses fly? My 8th tip, actively engage in account planning. Start to develop strategic account plans if you don't already have them. Those account plans will act as strategic and tactical guides to help guide you towards more future revenues, opportunities that may already exist in those accounts. To learn the problems that you solved in the past and bring those to your other accounts to see if those challenges are ones they have, whether they resonate with them. Use an account plan to build a clear-cut understanding of the clients you're working with, their needs, their pains, where you are and where you're involved within their organization. Take the time to understand those clients better and work out what they really want from you and what more value you can provide to delight them. Really, my final tip is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. There's nothing more true in a sales career than sales is a very uncomfortable place to be. Now's the time to be asking yourself those tough questions. Asking tough questions of yourself and of your prospects. In my opinion, sales, largely speaking, is simply the search for the truth. Two parties coming in together, being honest about the challenges they face, and being honest about whether they have the ability to solve them. Are you willing to do the difficult things required of you to make it happen over this period? Or are you firmly camped out in your comfort zone? Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So it all starts with a conversation. My name is David Davies. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm relatively easy to find. Look for the picture of the talking tennis ball. Or find David W. Davies. You can follow me on Twitter at Sandler TV. We can talk person to person. My phone number's on the screen. Or you can email me on david.davies@sandler.com. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your busy days to listen in here. I hope some of these strategies are going to help you to power out of this period and really go and achieve those goals that you set for yourself all that way back at the start of the year and achieve your best 2016 ever. I just want to check and see if we have any questions online. Okay, no questions. So I'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining Artesian and Sandler training this afternoon. And I wish you the best as you power out of the summer sales slump. Thank you for your time.